Midwest Stitches podcast. My name is Danielle, and this is a podcast all about whatever crafty things that I do. Welcome to any new subscribers or viewers, and welcome back to all of you returning viewers. So today I have two finished objects to talk about, which is very exciting, and a whip or two, and a little bit of mail, some shop news, and just kind of some chatter. So happy 2022, everybody. I just am excited for New Year. You know, I know it sounds silly, but it's like a clean slate in a lot of ways. So, not that you need a new year for it to be a clean slate. But anyway, we're just going to jump right in. So, yay, first podcast of the new year, hopefully first of many to come. My apologies for the lighting from what I can see in the camera. It is overcast and raining, snowing north of us. Very weird weather here in the Midwest. So, anyway, my first finished object, we'll just jump right in, are these socks. Yay! These are DK weight socks. This is the Granite State Yarns Glorious Christmas DK sock set. And these were supposed to be a Christmas gift for Adrian, but I only had this one done. But, you know, this one I finished today, a little bit ago. And this is toe up with a Flegel heel, and I use the sewn bind off. For my DK socks, I use a 2.75 millimeter needle, 48 stitches, and that seems to fit well. So if you want to know more about kind of my thoughts on this construction with the Flegel heel and the color change and all that kind of stuff, I did talk about that in Vlogmas, so you'll have to go back and watch those, because I did talk quite a bit about this and some changes that I made to the pattern. Oh, I will say that one real quick. So for a traditional Flegel heel, I'll just kind of briefly tell you. Normally, when you do your increases for the gusset, you increase to the total number of stitches minus 2. For these pair, I actually did the total number minus 4. And that is only because on the last round, like, you have 1 stitch left to decrease when you join back in the round, then you go around and then you decrease 1 stitch, but even after that 1 stitch, you still have 2 more. So I just basically eliminated a step, and it was only 1 stitch on each side, and it doesn't affect the fit, at least for us. And this fits me and Adrian. So maybe try that, just to kind of experiment. If you want, I am going to try that in fingering weight socks, because I do like toe up versus cuff down with the sewn bind off. That's just kind of me learning what I like versus what I don't like. And as you can see, I alternated the heels, toes, and cuffs color, so I could use both minis. As far as the heel goes, this, like I said, this is the Flegel heel, and I do like it, but I don't know that I would do it again for a color change. I think if I just had a single set of what am I trying to say? A single skein of yarn, that I wasn't going to do any alternating colors. Or if I wanted to just alternate the toe and the cuff, I could do that. But it would just be like a solid color for this whole piece with the Flegel heel. It just makes it easier. I mean, the color change isn't very hard, but it gives you extra ends to weave in, and maybe a few more holes where you have to cut the yarn and join, and just depending on how you are with that. But I am going to try a shadow wrap short roll heel. That's a new thing for this year that I want to do. And you can do that with a color change, and it's a much bigger chunk for the heel if you've seen that. So that's on the agenda to try. So there's those. And then my second finished object is actually another late Christmas present. This is for my friend Hope. So Hope, I'm sorry if you're watching this. I am ruining the surprise. Or turn away until this is over. I made these Fingerless Mitts. Oh, how beautiful. This is in Mandy's Makings Mardi Gras Beads colorway. And I used the Swing Your Partner Fingerless Mitts pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady. And I just modified the counts just a little bit. Hers are a little bit longer here and here. I just was running out of yarn, but this was out of a 40 gram mini. And I'll show you what they look like on my hands. And this was the small size that I knit out of her pattern. And it fits me fine, and I have bigger hands. I did want it to be a little bit longer, but like I said, I was running out of yarn. So, but yeah, they fit so nice, and I am in love with this pattern. I did finish my round and round cowl during Vlogmas, so if you want to see that finished object, or you can pop over to my Instagram, which I didn't say that either. You can find me on Instagram at midwest.stitches or on my website at midweststitches.com. So there's that. For whips, I only have one real work in progress at the moment. Kind of, but not really. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but this is the first one. This is the Grinch sock set from Zebra Yarns. And I wanted these done before Christmas, but that didn't happen. And I had this first one like up, it was like this much taller, but I ripped it back because I wanted to redo the toe. I tried to reverse engineer the rounded toe from the Crazy Sock Ladies pattern to do it toe up. And then I wanted to do the heel toe do-si-do pattern for the self-striping. And I probably won't do the toe like this again, just because, I mean, it turned out okay, but it was more complicated than I wanted to have it be. And so I just want my knitting to be mindless for the most part. So there's that one. And then you will have seen this on Vlogmas. This is kind of my next whip that I'm going to pick up. So I did this first one. This is the Cozy Knitter Advent Skein from 2021. And this is actually, I held the yarn double using Julienne Knitter Twin Stitches Designs double-stranded worsted sock pattern, I think. And I know people talk about holding fingering weight double for a DK. I just want to address that real quick because people say that and they don't really talk about the type of yarn you're using. So what I mean by that, so learn from me. If you didn't already know this, I did have one person ask me this question on Instagram, and I'm so glad they did because I had never heard it talked about. So here are two different strands of fingering weight yarn. I'm going to try and hold this up so you can see the difference. Hold on. Do you see the difference in the thickness of the yarn? This is the Cozy Knitter yarn. It's an 80-20 blend. This is the Zebra Yarns. It's a 75-25. But people don't differentiate when they say fingering weight held double and how that can affect the type of yarn you get. So a 75-25 held double will give you a DK weight, but an 80-20 or an 85-15 will give you a worsted weight. And I did check that with a little, I have like a little keychain gauge thing that you can check if you don't have the ball band anymore to see what weight of yarn it is. I have a tangled mess here. So anyway, I had to do this. I had started them and I ripped them out because my gauge was wrong because I was using the wrong size needles for how I knit. So now I know thicker yarn other than a 75-25, I have to use a 2mm. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish the second one of this. These are for Adrian. And then whatever's left over from my Cozy Knitter Advent after I do these, I'm going to make a shorty pair or however long for me toe up. And I might try the shadow wrap heel on these. So there's that. That's kind of the next whip. I'm going to do that first before the Grinch socks. Because that's kind of something that I'm doing this year. And I'll just talk about that briefly since we're in the whip section. Is I'm trying to go through my whips. I have over here, you can't see it, but I have all those socks from October and September, October, like fall time frame, where I finished all the first socks and I have all these second socks that need finished. And so I'm going to work through those after I get these done, because these are the next two. And then once I get these two done, then it'll be on to the fall socks, because they're the only other ones that don't have a pair or a mate. So yeah. And yeah, so you'll be seeing those. You'll be seeing a lot less mail. I will say that too, because that's kind of my theme. Get through my whips, and I want to concentrate on using up my stash. Not using it up. I could never knit all of the yarn that I have in a year. That's just crazy. I have so many other things that I have to do that would never work. But I want to concentrate on using what I have bought, especially in the last year. I bought a lot of sock yarn, and I was gifted some, and I want to use it up and make things out of it and love it and fill my sock drawer, because that's kind of my really only goal for the year. But yeah, and speaking of that, so like, for example, the DK socks, these are the leftovers. This is about 50 grams in total between all 4 of these little bowls. And then I had another DK sock from her, or socks I made, that had some leftovers. So I think what I'm going to do is, because I have, like, over here, I have 2 DK sock sets, or DK sock skein and a DK sock set, and that I want to make socks out of. And once I get enough leftovers, I'm just going to make a scrappy pair of DK socks. And I'm excited about that. My heat just kicked on. So yeah. So that was finished objects, whips. So you'll be seeing a lot more like old whips getting finished, and then maybe some new ones. For shop news, I am going to have a release here, I think, next week. Once I get it done, I'll announce it on Instagram once I get it done. But I wanted to show this bag that I made as kind of an experiment. This is for me. And this is a 2-handled bag. And all I did was use some thick twill tape that I folded in half and sewed down. And it's a zipper bag. So I wanted a way to add handles like this. I have a drawstring bag with handles like this, but I didn't have a zipper one. So I stopped putting handles on my zipper bags here a couple months ago. And I'm not sure if people like that or were okay with it. Let me know if you have one, if you prefer handles, I don't know. So if you like that style, maybe I can add something like that to the shop, or add them to my zipper bags. But the February release, which obviously will be in January, are these super cute window bags. Now we're moving into shop. These are going to be my February release. I'm only going to have 9 of these. So if you want one, be on the lookout. Instagram is where I will say if they are in the shop. I'm going to have window bags periodically just because I have the vinyl and stuff, but they're not going to be like a staple in my bag collections. But these, I have enough fabric for 9 of them. So these I'll be sewing up this weekend. This cute red polka dot fabric, this cute black hearts. I love this so much. White zipper. And then I use the red polka dot for the zipper tabs. And yeah, I mean, you can fit 2 skeins in there comfortably. I think I talked about that with my Grinch bags from the last episode. And this is going to be my February cast on, hopefully, if I get all those other ones done. Because this to me is a very Valentine's-y color. That's not even a word, Valentine's-y. But this is the November Yarnable colorway in Apple Crisp. And yeah, so I'm excited to make this up because I saw someone on Instagram knit theirs up back in November, and it just knits up beautifully. So I'm excited for that. So that hopefully will be here in the near future as a whip and a finished object. So, and along with using up the yarn that I have, like I said, there won't be as much mail because I'm not going to be buying as much yarn, if at all. I have 2 skeins of yarn or 2 sock sets that are coming that I ordered towards the end of the year from Pumpkins and Wool. She had 2 sock sets that I wanted that were, I think like her best top 5 or something of the year, like her top 5 sellers. So she brought them back for pre-order and they just haven't either been dyed or mailed or whatever. So I'm still waiting on those. So you'll see those at some point in time because I will show them. But today I did get this guy in the mail, which is so beautiful. This is from Sweet Tea Yarn, Molly Klein design. And this is her Farmhouse Christmas colorway. Look at that. This is a 75-25 blend, which is my favorite. And that's another thing. I'm going to be more cognizant when I buy yarn and making sure I buy the yarn base that I prefer, which is 75-25. And I say that, I haven't, besides the Cozy Knitter socks, I haven't knit with the thicker yarns. So I might change my mind on that. We'll see. But I do prefer this. I think I like the gauge that it gives me, the fabric. So, anywho, that's really the only mail. That's personal mail. I do have mail for the shop. I had a bunch of people, actually. So I had a bunch of people ask me when they saw these on Instagram. I did not make these for sale. They asked if I was going to sell them in the future, and I wasn't going to originally because I couldn't find the fabric at a good price or what have you. But I finally did, and I thought, you know, I love them, and I think other people will love them too. So it was this bag, this Gilmore Girls bag that I made. And here is the inside fabric. If you can see those faint dragonflies in there. Dragonfly in. So I got some of that in the mail today. So I'm only going to make this size. And actually, my small size is going to change just a little bit. It's going to come in about this much. So like 1.5 inches or so, I think. So it'll just be a little bit narrower, but it'll still be a good size. But I'm only going to make small size in those sock size bags. And my dog is barking downstairs at something. I bought 2 yards of this. So that should make quite a few. Had to take a short intermission. My neighbor was leaving and I'm recording in front of my window on the windowsill and he can see what I'm doing, and my lighting is just terrible right now. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up here in a minute. Yeah, I wanted to talk about kind of my plans for the shop for the year. Not really knitting goals. Mostly I want to knit socks. That's kind of my number 1 goal, fill my sock drawer. And not overwhelm myself. Not have as many whips. I think that's a big thing for me. If I have too many whips, my brain just like, can't handle it. So my goal this year with the shop is to be a little bit more curated with what I release. And what I mean by that is not making as many bags at one time, just because that's a lot. I do everything by myself and I have a full-time job, but at the same time, I know I can get decision paralysis with stuff, and probably other people too. If there's too many choices, it's like, what do you pick? You want everything, and it's just hard. So I think, you know, maybe only releasing 1 or 2 patterns at a time, stuff like that. So speaking of decision paralysis, man, I had such a hard time with planners. I talked on Vlogmas how I had a digital planner, but it just wasn't feeling it. I just wanted something simple, already put together, and so I got this cute purse size planner. It'll fit in my purse anyway. From Amazon. It was from the brand called Redicy, I think. And this is awesome. I just wanted a place, because this is a monthly and weekly, no daily, that I could just put appointments, bills that were due, birthdays, holidays, stuff like that, just kind of personal life items. And it has a habit tracker in the front for all 12 months, which is awesome because that's something that I wanted too. If you want the link for that, let me know and I'll put that down in the description. And then for business, I knew I wanted something separate. I didn't want to put them together. It was just going to be too much for my brain. So for that, I got this notebook with a band from Walmart. It was like 10 bucks. It is a dot grid notebook. You can't see that. There's a dot grid. Yep. And so I haven't really started filling this out yet, but this is just going to be for like ideas, releases, collaborations. I've had a couple people reach out to me to want to, like yarn dyers wanting to do collaborations, which is so amazing. I am so excited about that. So yeah, hopefully that'll be in the near future. Maybe a couple collabs this year. I'm really excited about growing my business. That's kind of my main focus, is growing my business, because it did way better than I thought last year, like beyond what I thought it was going to do. And I just really want to continue with that momentum, continue growing it, and bringing you guys stuff that you love. And so if you have any like extra ideas, like maybe some prints that you want to see offered, or just kind of like general ideas, stuff like that, let me know. I would love that kind of feedback. Right now, I'm really only offering zipper and drawstring bags in varying sizes, my yarn cozies. I'd like to do some needle cozies. I just haven't had the time. I have tons of scrap fabric that would be easy to make with those in a snap. And I think I had one or two people ask me about snap bags, that they like those. I do offer, you can add snaps to any drawstring bag that you buy. There's an option in my store, and it's in the drawstring tab, in the shop thing. If you go in there, you'll have to scroll through and you'll see it. But anyway, it's like a couple bucks, and I can add any snaps that you want. But if you're one of the people that's like, I only like snap bags, no drawstring, no zipper, great, let me know. I would be happy to maybe make a couple of those for people. I just haven't seen too many of those out there for sale, at least from the shops that I've seen. So I don't know what the interest is for that. And so just let me know. Stuff like that. If there's something that you're interested in that you'd like to see me make, I would love to. You know, I do have stuff coming for, like, I have ideas in my brain for Christmas bags for next year, summer, spring, a few things for fall. Yeah. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be more curated, maybe, I don't want to say scaled down, but not as many at once. So like with these, like I said, I only have 9. There might be some releases like that where I only have so much of the fabric and I won't be getting it again. So, because I'm basically at the mercy of, you know, the local fabric shops, where if they don't offer the print anymore, that's that. But it goes with the whole wanting to use up the materials that I have, like the yarn. It goes the same for my material. I want to kind of use what I have and only buy stuff if I needed to complete a project or a collection, so that I'm not hoarding and kind of overloading my space, because it's already kind of there. So yeah, like I said, look out for these. These will be in the shop here very soon. Next week at the latest. That's what I'm shooting for. I'm going to sew them this weekend, and hopefully they'll be done and ready to go. I'm excited, and I hope you guys are excited too. And then these will be in the shop in the near future, hopefully soon. I don't want to wait too long to do these, because These are obviously non-seasonal, so anytime. And I'm eagerly waiting to fill mine with socks because at Area 51 Fibers, I got a ton of her yarn self-striping, and I got a ton of her Gilmore Girls colorways, so they're all going to be knit out of this bag, and I cannot wait to do that. That's just fun to me. So, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Next time, hopefully I'll have more finished objects or more whips. Like I said, I'm going to do those two, the Grinch sock and this cozy knitter sock, finish the pair, and then I will start in with the Halloween socks, doing all the second socks. My goal is to be able to at least cast this on by Valentine's Day. And then maybe by the end of February, I'll have those socks done. But obviously sooner would be better. I would like to get all of those second socks done and then start these. That's kind of the goal. So yeah, leave me a comment down below. You know, let me know what you thought of the first episode of the year. Many more to come. I'm really enjoying this and connecting with people in this forum. And let me know what your kind of knitting goals or resolutions are. I don't really have any like resolutions or any lofty knitting goals like I talked about. I just want to knit the socks and a couple of other things here and there, but mostly it's gonna be socks this year. So yeah, let me know below. I would love to kind of read through those and see like, what are you guys working on this year? You know, is it your first sweater, which I have yet to do? I haven't knit any garments like that. I haven't attempted those yet. Maybe in the future. I did get a book from Anna as a present with sweater patterns, which I'm excited to dive into. But yeah, I just like to, you know, see what are you guys wanting to do in this year of 2022. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I hope you guys have a good day. You enjoyed this, and yeah, I will chat with you next time. So until then, have a great day. Bye.